Holy crap, it's hot outside. But hey, this is our last episode on this buggy. We will have it done by the end of this video. So check it out. Okay, so I did a bunch of stuff off camera. It was just, I kind of came out here for a couple hours here and there and didn't really push play on it, and it was super hot. So, starting out with the winch. So we got the winch mounted in. I still got a little bit of wiring to do on it, and it's actually not wired to the battery yet, but I did put these on there, put this nice plate on there, got everything mounted in, welded in, and it is looking good. So, super happy with how that came out. On to power steering lines. I don't remember where I left off on the last video, but everything is plumbed, and we actually are steering right now. So I threw a serpentine belt on it about 20 minutes ago, and this thing is ready to drive out of here. So we're just going to drive it. I don't have any brakes, so I can't really go very quickly or anything, but I want it out of the shop so I can flush the water system. It's pretty gunky inside the water pump. These just have a bunch of rust in them, so I'm hoping I can just flush it out with some hose water, and we'll run a bunch of hose water through here real quick just to see if we can't clean it out a little bit before we put some coolant in it. So that is on today's agenda. I think first things first, let's see if this thing will move with one wheel, because I don't even have, that's the only wheel that's connected. This one over here doesn't have a flange on it, or whatever you want to call it, a lockout. So I think he does have one of those. Maybe I'll dig it out and put it in. If not, we're gonna just try to, hopefully the center section's welded. We'll put it in drive and use one wheel to pull us forward. So let's see what happens. All right, well, that didn't work at all. So I don't think the front, diff is locked, or I think it might just be open gears in there. So I'm gonna find the lockout for this side, pop that in, and hopefully then we're moving forward. So let's try that. All right, got it installed. Now we should be good. These things should pop into lock. That one's already on, and we should roll somewhere. So let's try number 2. Okay, she has pulled out of its cave. Pretty freaking excited. So still don't have any brakes. We still gotta do brakes. We still gotta do the sheet metal in the back, and I think just button a few things up, bunch of zip ties, but we're freaking out. So pretty excited. It also still cylinder missing on this side. That's another day's adventure or something, but for right now, I'm gonna hook the hose up and just shoot basically water through. I might put it on in the radiator and just have it come spilling out here or something. I'll figure a way to flush this engine out best I can, and that way we can roll it back in the garage and put some antifreeze in it. Or I'll probably just put antifreeze in it out here. But yeah, let's do that. Alrighty, we are topped off on water, or coolant I should say, and temperature's coming up like 150 or something like that. I don't have a cooling fan on it, but I'm really just checking for heat, make sure everything's cycling. There's a lot of crud coming out of this radiator, so when I flushed it, hopefully, see this side's cool down here, this side's starting to get warm a little bit. So I'm hoping that the thermostat is gonna crack open here in a minute. If not, I'm guessing that thermostat's probably gummed up and bad, so I will have to most likely change that thermostat. But anyways, just trying to get some heat in it. Then we are going to pull back in the garage and I gotta go to work. Alrighty guys, got a couple more things dialed in. Got the headlights hooked up, wired. Still waiting on the cooling fan. Once I pull this thing out and get it all the way up to temperature, one of these wires should become hot and we'll hook this set or that set up to the fan. So onto brakes. So really need to start doing brakes. He's got a pretty cool kit here. So basically these are the ends that you'll be putting on, and you'll do a double flare, I believe it's called. And these will just kind of seat on there and seal up nicely. And then for everything else, there's like flex lines. So we'll do the steel line right here, this stuff right here, and then we will go to flex lines at every joint, and hopefully that will conclude our brake lines. So kind of boring, it's the same thing over and over and over again, so I'll just put it on time lapse and try my best to move the camera with every new line. Okay, there we have it. Brake lines are done. Super happy with how they turned out. That's just the rear brake lines, so I still have the front brake lines I gotta do. That is underway. This fitting right here is gonna be questionable because it's supposed to be for a bigger line, I think a 1/4 inch line, and this is 3/16 line. So it is a 3/16 fitting, but the port on the inside I think is for a 1/4 inch, so it might leak out of here and I might need an adapter. But right now we threaded it in there. We will add some fluid, see if it holds, and then finish up the front line. So if you can see, it's stopped right there, and then I just have these chilling. So let's get the front knocked out and then we could add some brake fluid. Okie dokie. Lines are ran. T-fittings on. Everything is tight, I believe. And let's add some fluid and see what leaks. Alrighty guys, it's a new day in the shop, but same pair of shorts, and we are going to be continuing to work on Aaron's buggy. So we have the brake lines are actually plumbed good, actually work really well, no leaks, everything is perfect on the brakes. So I started moving on to a couple of the other things. So cooling fan is good to go. It is hooked up to the ECU, so it turns on and off via the computer now, which is pretty sweet. It's starting to get surface rust on it. Got the brake lines all plumbed. I had Michelle help bleed them. Everything on the brakes is good to go, so pretty happy with that. No leaks, stops very well. I also got the cooling fan wired into the computer, so the computer now turns that on and off whenever it gets to operating temperature. I think it's like 210 it turns on, and it's supposed to turn off like 180 or so. So that is good to go, working well. Everything with the engine and cooling system is all plumbed. I even have the trans fan back there all hooked up, wired in. I finished wiring the fuel cell. Really, I just need to work on this sheet metal back here. So started ripping everything apart already, and we're just going to continue see what I can come up with back here for some sheet metal flooring. Alrighty, now that we have that piece in, we're going to be starting to close up this with sheet metal. I think I'm going to probably just do it at an angle, do something kind of cool or nice, and then tie it into this. And then additionally, one support off of this bar over to that tunnel just to support the sheet metal so it doesn't try to sag. So that's what's up next. Alright guys, we are back at it in the shop. Just need to button this thing up. I got about 2 weeks until he comes and picks this thing up, and really just finishing this last little cap piece and adding some cup holders is probably the last thing to do on the agenda. So I need to start making the straps that will be welded onto here and then bolted onto the centerpiece. And again, down at the bottom there needs to be some bolting, some bolts in there. So we'll make a strap or a flange, and it'll bolt to this piece and tie it to this, which ties it to this, which ties it to this, and it makes it really solid for the whole tunnel. So that is the game plan. Let's break out the CNC and make some flanges. Okie dokie, there she is. That is the final tunnel piece, and it just super makes all this really strong. The center console, you can pretty much jump on the center console, it won't go anywhere. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the sheet metal work, I believe. I'm gonna vacuum all this crap out of here, clean everything up, start bolting in maybe like the seats a little better, more permanent. Maybe try to figure out at least lap belts. I didn't put the harness bar in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that before Aaron comes and grabs it. But anyways, yeah, we are moving along. I'll clean it up and kind of move on to something else. that is going to be a wrap on the bent fabrication chassis buggy on this channel. So hey, this thing's like 90% done and ready to hit the trails. It's still got a bunch of hardware to tighten up, you know, all the bolt check, all the stuff you got to do with that. Check your fluids. Rear gears still aren't in it. Few things, needs harnesses put in, but other than that, man, this thing is ready to rock and roll. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this build. It was a heck of a build over the summer. So if you guys liked it, please like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.